going on, everybody? Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Viall Files Ask Nick edition. I'm your host, Nick, joined by the household of Allie, Amanda, and Derek. I hope you're all having a great morning, afternoon, or night. However you are listening to us, whenever you are listening to us, we appreciate it. We love you. What's going on, guys? What's new? What's cracking?
Guys, I think I got bit by something in the night.
Oh.
I don't know what it is.
Probably. Spider?
Yeah. So I might have
I found out there's like poisonous
superpowers.
spiders in California.
Well,
but-
great. Thanks
What do
for
you
that.
mean you found out?
I guess I really didn't know.
Did you like just Google
No,
or
someone told me. that
someone fearmongered?
Mm.
Someone said they found this like poisonous spider. I guess they
Did
would
it
kill a
look like
small
this?
dog.
Is that what the
that just
bite-
looks like a normal spider bite.
But it was a spider?
I'm not an expert on insect bites, but I suspect.
What if it crawled into my mouth?
Probably.
What if it's inside of me right
Maybe.
now?
Well, it's dead now then.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw this thing online and it was basically being like the 7 love styles. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. First of all, there are 5 and it's languages. But Truity, which is this organization that does a lot of like personality tests, like Enneagram, other such things, from their data basically came out with the 7 modern love styles.
This is their kind of IP?
Yeah. It's based on their own research.
Okay.
So that's what they say. I think
So Truity thinks there are 7 love styles. And do they talk about what the difference between a style and a language?
Maybe the love languages are copyrighted. Do you think that phrase, love languages?
Maybe. But that's what I'm asking. Is
Yeah.
this something they're adding to? Are they saying, no, there's not 5, there's 7, and we can't call it languages, we're calling it styles? Or are the 7 love styles separate than the 5 love languages, and do they work in concert with one another? How, with the 5 love languages being such a universal concept nowadays, how does this article address that? Because I'm assuming they do.
they do. So Dr. Gary Chapman, popularized by his 1992 book, The 5 Love Languages, is sort of like the father of this line of thinking. And so they say, Dr. Chapman's original theory was developed more than 3 decades ago based on his in-person work with married Christian couples.
Okay.
Truity wondered if there was more to learn from larger scale modern day research. So Truity surveyed more than 500,000 individuals to see what makes people feel loved most in their relationships. The results showed that while some ideas about expressing love have stayed the same, others have shifted significantly in the decades following the development of Chapman's original theory.
So they are challenging the 5 love languages, basically.
I would say this is like in
Expanding upon?
dialogue
What?
with,
Expanding upon. I don't think it's negating it per se, but it's saying
but
that
they are attempting to improve.
They say, I raise you 7
Yeah.
love styles.
Yeah.
First, activity. People with the activity love style feel special and valued when their partner takes an interest in their hobbies and interests and makes an effort to enjoy activities together.
Tom Sandoval. I want to go hang gliding on mushrooms.
Yeah. Activity.
So activity, appreciation. People with the appreciation love style feel special and valued when their partner gives them praise and compliments. Words are more important than deeds for this type, but it's not just about pretty words. People who prefer this love style want to feel their partner is paying attention to their personal qualities and the little triumphs of their lives and is grateful and appreciative of them. Next, emotional. People with the emotional love style feel loved when their partner is able to connect with them and support them through tough emotions. While on some level, it's about spending quality time together, the emotional love style is specifically focused on emotional as opposed to physical connection. This type feels loved when they are receiving caring support during emotionally challenging or vulnerable times. Then, financial. People with a financial love style feel loved and valued when their partner shows generosity with finances in order to bring them joy. Treats and surprises are certainly a part of this love style, but it is not limited to receiving gifts.
Why are you laughing?
I just am like, please see seekingarrangement.com. Find
feel
you a
like-
sugar daddy
I
here.
gotta say, like, I gotta say, the names of their style are really boring and basic.
But I think it's more all encompassing
I
because
think they're
I
trying
also
to make them
think-
accessible.
Yeah, because with the 5 love languages, when you say, oh, it's also a little bit confusing with the 5 love languages, how you receive versus what you give out. And then with love languages, it's like gifts. That sounds very self-centered and shallow.
More than finances.
I guess maybe not.
Words of affirmation and like acts of service to me, like it took me someone
Emotions.
explaining.
It's also hard to figure out. It feels like they share a lot from
Activities.
each other with, verbal versus emotional, or what was that one? Like, what was the second category?
Appreciation.
Appreciation versus emotional. I feel like those kind of would share a lot of the same attributes.
But I think emotion, it focuses.
Let's finish before we critique.
Okay, because I think it's an interesting
I'm not
topic.
critiquing. I just have questions.
Financial. Okay, so rather it describes a larger desire for a partner who's willing to use their financial resources in a variety of ways to help and delight their significant other. It's basically saying like, yes, there's the gifts thing, but it's also really hot when like your partner leads the charge on like setting up your kid's college fund or like makes decisions based on like kind of does some larger scale financial orchestration in service of the relationship.
Whatsyourprice.com.
Intellectual. People with the intellectual love style love to connect through the mind. They feel loved when their partner values their intelligence, respects their opinion, and takes part in thoughtful discussions of important issues. While the intellectual love style includes a desire to spend quality time together, it focuses more specifically on a meeting of the minds and valuing each other's intelligence. Physical. People with the physical love style feel cared for and supported when they are being touched and held by their partner. They love the sensate experiences of, I've never seen that word before. Sensate.
Sensate?
They love the sensate experience of physical intimacy. This is not just code word for sex. At Nick telling people to run their fingertips over each other's bodies. It includes everything from erotic touch to hugs, hand-holding, foot rubs, snuggles, and quick morning kisses. And then finally, practical. People with the practical love style feel special and valued when their partner takes care of the chores, pitches in with the household, and offers practical everyday help to lighten the load. Rather than just helping out with chores, practical love style is about going, quote, above and beyond with practical help and doing things that are unexpected and specifically for the benefit of your partner. I have to say, something I appreciate about this is I think if I had a bone to pick with the 5 love languages,
Pick it.
quality time to me is too vague. Because people's definition of quality time, for some people, like quality time is informed by like a sense of like emotionally connecting. For some people, quality time is like you're in the same room and you might be scrolling on your phones, but you're just like there with each other moving through the day. And like, I just think it's like a very broad category versus I kind of, in seeing the way this breaks it down, like for me, quality time, for some people, quality time could fall more into like the emotional love style. For some people, it could fall more into the intellectual love style. For others yet, activity love style.
It's a fine article. I think it's a little useless and silly.
Interesting.
In the sense that I see what they're doing. They're not even wrong per se. I don't think this list is really adding a great deal of value.
That's fair.
The premise would be that for some people, that the 5 love languages does not capture their, needs in terms of being able to articulate how they give or receive love. That somewhere in these 5 love languages, they're just like, but like, I just don't feel like I can really express myself and communicate like through this like quick test of how I give and receive love. And all this is really doing is just like giving it a different name, adding a couple more categories, giving a little bit more specificity to quality time. And essentially, that's where they're getting the extra 2, really. That's all they're doing. Because, finances basically gives. And then,
But I like the practical one because I don't feel like the 5 love languages really touches on that. And I feel like that's a very important thing.
practical is acts of service.
I guess I just feel like I appreciate the specificity of practical because I think with acts of service, like for some people it is like, I know your car needs to get the oil changed, I'll do it for you. And then for other people, it can be these like much larger
acts of service sounds like I'm going to build you a house. Like, I'm
yeah.
going to roof it myself.
I think acts of service are literally just that. It's those people who think of themselves as acts of service people, especially people who give love through acts of service. It's those practical things. It is very much like getting you the glass of water at night or taking your car and pumping it with gas so you have a full tank of gas, or just going out of your way to do the literal little things, these acts of service for your partner to show them love, or just to know that your partner is willing to do those things for you, makes you feel loved. And these are all very practical things. You guys have heard me say on the show that when it comes to like acts of service, I think sometimes we have to be careful not calling them the bare minimum or the little things, because for the people who show love through acts of service, they can feel like those things are minimized because we just become used to them, this practical thing.
Yeah.
But as I understand it, I think all this list does is take quality time and separate into 3 different categories. And that's how you get your extra 2. Because, right, practical is, finance is gifts, practical is acts of service.
Yeah, physical and physical are pretty much the same.
Physical is, physical touch.
Mm-hmm. What about appreciation?
Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation.
Oh, okay. Then, yeah, activity would be a quality time.
Is intellectual quality time, though? Because I think words of affirmation I think emotional. I think you can make a case for like appreciation and emotional both kind of being components of words of affirmation.
But you could also involve emotional and intellectual into quality time.
Yeah.
To me, intellectual is more of a compatibility trait.
I disagree. I think there's times when I'll have like a really long conversation with like my partner where we'll just kind of like go down the rabbit hole and I'm like, oh my God, you're so smart and hot. And it's like, and it's really cool to feel like realigned in that way, because it's like easy to like talk a lot without having like necessarily like a super deep conversation.
No, I hear you on that.
And I think it's like, especially like when it's like you're talking, because he's super into space. So it's like, it's not just like we're gabbing about how we're feeling. It's like he's talking about like theories of the universe that break my brain. And so it's like, it is something about like the way he like pushes my intellectual boundaries that I'm like, that feels like very cool.
I mean, I hear you on that. I think there are certain people who are attracted to having a more of a cerebral connection with their partner, and other people it's like nice to have, but like not, they don't need to like
it's just
go
like
down the rabbit holes with their partner. They have like friends and colleagues to do that with. And like sometimes like going down your rabbit hole with your partner can get exhausting, at times.
The thing that I will like, the hill I will die on is that food needs to be its own love language. I could give a TED talk on this. I think it is such a significant part of like everyday life, and there's a ways to connect on it. I think both as couples, because you spend so much time together. So there's kind of this expectation that you're eating together, preparing meals together. I also think for so many people, it has to do with like cultural significance. There's a sense of like identity in their food. It's like, it does definitely like get into the kind of like practical acts of servicey thing, but it is like, it's distinct. Like feeding someone is its own thing.
I think food's more of a compatibility thing.
But when your partner cooks for you and when they know, and then when they order off the menu for you, like it is like, I think it is.
Oh, well, I would say that's an act of service,
but
could be also quality time. People who like to cook feel like they show love through the food that they make for their partner. Right. And then eating it is the quality time they spend together and conversate over. I agree with you that from a food standpoint, like as someone who's dated a vegetarian, and I'm very much not, that I felt literally disconnected. And now I'm dating someone where we have very similar dietary habits. And honestly, that's a fucking dream come true, because like thinking about what you guys are going to eat every day is like just a straight relationship, especially if you are so off there. But so I get you on that. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the 5 love languages is not a broke thing.
I have also seen some discourse about there being a 6th love language. So like not kind of changing or replacing any of the 5 terminology.
That's the problem I have with this list, is that
it's not reinventing the wheel.
It's trying to, though. And it's kind of like, okay, as opposed to.
I don't think it's trying to. I think it's
like discovering this planet that we didn't realize existed with a 6th love language in addition to the ones we already have. Then my ears are perked.
Okay, so do you want any guesses as to what the 6th one is?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so it's feeling known. Feeling known, the 6th love language, is all about fully appreciating and accepting your partner for who they are. This shows that the other person truly gets you, including your dreams, quirks, and everything in between.
Doesn't that just come as a result of being with someone for a while and understanding their love languages?
I don't know. I think there's something there.
I feel like that is a love language you deploy a lot with me that like means the world. It's like when you're like, oh no, of course, she didn't wear that top yesterday. She wore the other one. Or like, oh, like, like there's very things I think because we've like shared so much time and space together over the past few years in a beautiful way where it's like, you just like, like, I know your intermittent fasting schedule. You know what kind of stuff I like in my coffee. Like, it's just like kind of like knowing each other's
I feel like that
I like
comes
that.
as a result of spending time with each other.
I like that better than the 7 love styles. Some might argue that's like the very definition of love. Love everything about your partner, both the good and the bad. To know that your partner knows your insecurities and your bad habits and your quirks, and you still feel loved by them.
But then that's hard too, because you can't utilize that love language until later on in a relationship.
It's a good point.
I mean, you could go on a first date with someone and cuddle and get your physical needs met. Or they could, spend quality
I
time
agree
with
with Ali
you.
there that all the 5 love languages and incorporating them to their desired effect will allow you to get to that place of the 6 love language is kind of a destination that the 5 will bring you to over time.
But you could on a second date be like, I ordered you a drink I ordered you a mezcal cocktail because you mentioned on our first date that was something you really like.
And then she's like, I was just in a mood. I hate mezcal. You don't know me at all.
Okay, and that doesn't fall anywhere.
Well, I think some people could say it's an act of service, but I think it's like
act of service would require you paying attention to your partner's needs. Also, gifts.
Yeah, this is just a question I'm thinking of right now for the first time, which is to what extent do you think it is reasonable to kind of expect your partner to learn your schedule / calendar? And I say this as someone who has definitely a little
wackadoo. Your schedule's different than most.
Yeah, there's a lot of improvs on weeknights. But I was thinking about it in terms of feeling known, where it's like, I have some friends where it's just really sweet because they'll be like, oh, call me when you get back from this thing tonight. They know exactly what I have that night. And I really appreciate that they really just have this. They were paying so much attention and know the rhythms of my week. Other people, not to name names, my boyfriend, he's fucking shocked. I do really the same thing every week. And he'll text me and be like, you want to grab dinner tonight? And it's like, I have improv from 7 to 9, just like I do every single Monday, I have from every single Monday since we started dating.
Yeah, I can see how it gets annoying.
But I'm curious where I'm like, it doesn't actually bother me that much, and I realize that I have a lot, to be fair, it would be a big schedule to memorize on his back. So, and there's other stuff other ways that he's considerate and is paying attention. But do you think that's
it's one of those, if he wanted to, he would kind of things.
A relationship is an investment. And if you're going to be in a relationship, you want to feel like the person you're in a relationship with is in some ways invested in you. And to show that they're invested in you, part of that would be to understand your routine, your schedule, what you're allergic to, hey, I can't eat peanuts, I'll die, shit like that. Feeling prioritized, it's you could go on and on. But love languages are a path to how you can make your partner feel prioritized or vice versa. I feel like Dr. What's his name? I don't know. I feel like he did a good thing.
Dr. Chapman?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Chapman.
I think I think he has it. Activities. Yeah. Tom Sandoval finally feels seen. See? She just doesn't know my love language.
Skinny dipping. That's my interest.
I like activity. I would fucking bungee jumping.
Hang gliding.
Well, in case it seems like Ariana is absolutely thriving, but on the off chance her broken heart is wanting a little bit of company, we do have a breakup song of the week. It's called About You by the 1975.
Oh my God, Maddie Healy.
I know. I also kind of picked topical-ish-esque. I don't know. Relative several months breakup. I don't know. We don't.
Who knows?
Who knows? Who's to say? Time's a construct. So the person who submitted this said, this song is absolutely beautiful and encapsulates what it's like to slowly move on from a relationship you once thought was endgame. The whole song follows the words, do you think I've forgotten about you? Almost like a person painfully reminding themselves over and over again all the things they loved about their partner. This is Until the Bridge, where the lyrics are, and I'm going to throw it over to Allie to read the lyrics because Lord knows.
Well, now there's something about you that now I can't remember. It's the same damn thing that made my heart surrender. And I miss you on a train. I miss you in the morning. I never know what to think about. I think about you. I've never felt more gifted than when I've just been assigned this task.
Read this for me?
Well, it's specific. It's lyrics. I don't want to butcher it.
Yeah,
there's a specific.
It's supposed to sound smooth. And purposeful.
It's all those children's books
and not
I've been
disjointed.
Reading. And not like a woman panicking.
Jumping.
I got my B's and D's confused through 5th grade, on vocabulary.
Oh, child.
I know.
Sweet
I
lady.
know. I just had I still have very intense learning.
I'm so sorry. That sounds very
So
difficult.
hard.
Bed became Deb real fast.
Well, we have a great show lined up for you today. Don't forget to send in all those questions at asknick@theviallfiles.com for all things Ask Nick, Viall Files related, texting office hours, mediation calls, sweat in the wedding. We certainly appreciate all your emails and questions that you have. Don't forget, we have another update special for you all dropping on Viall Files Plus. We have 2 of these bad boys dropping every month in addition to the update special that we drop for you all on Classic. So if you've been missing all your updates from these callers, if you've been wondering what is going on in their lives, well, we've been letting you know. You just have to sign up for Viall Files Plus. It's a 7-day free trial. Check it out. Go to viallfiles.com. Click on the tab to sign up. Again, 7-day free trial. In addition to the update specials, we have our weekly pop culture roundup every Friday. Our episodes of Better Date Than Never. And then coming soon, Vanderpump recap starting at season number 1, if that tickles your fancy as well. Also tomorrow we have part 2 of the Bachelorette bios, all the men vying for Charity's heart. We started it last Tuesday on Freestyle with Elise Guilfoyle. We bring it back with both Elise and Natalie. Super funny episode. Be sure to check out both of them. And then next week we have the premiere of Charity season, which we're recapping, and should be fun, entertaining, wacky, and wild. Should be a lot of fun. Tune in to that. Also, our 600th episode is dropping this week. We can't wait to surprise you with who it's going to be. Either way, it's going to be wild. Can't thank you guys enough for tuning in to all our episodes. Truly, thank you for supporting the show. The show has never been more popular, and we have you guys to thank. So we sincerely appreciate you all. Whether you watch it on YouTube or listen to it in your car at work, doesn't really matter. We appreciate you. In the meantime, why don't you go ahead and give us 5 stars or write a review, only if you have nice things to say. The rest of your notes, whatever we can do without them.
Save it for your group chat.
Save it for your group chat. There you go. All right, let's get to our callers.
Question time with Nick. Let's ask Nick your sexy questions.
How's it going?
It's going great. My name's Samantha, and I'm 27, and I'm dating a guy that I love that has an ex from hell.
All right. Do they have kids?
Yeah, they have one son who's 15.
Okay. Shouldn't that make it a little easier?
No, it doesn't. He hates me, to be honest. I've only met the kid maybe 5 times, and just based on what his mom has said, lied to him about, he just does not want me around.
How old is your boyfriend?
41.
How long you been dating for?
Going on about 6 months.
How old is the ex-wife?
She's 40.
We know why she hates you.
Mm-hmm.
What conversations have you had with your boyfriend about this?
I mean, we've had quite a few, but the thing is, he still has to literally talk to her because they have a son that goes back and forth. But she cannot have one conversation with him without bringing me up. He wants nothing to do with her, it seems like, but she just doesn't stop. She's got 3 restraining orders on me now that's all been dropped because she just doesn't show up and she just wants to cause issues. And I think in her head that she thinks by doing this, we're going to break up.
She is his baggage as far as you're concerned. You have to accept that if you want to be with him, she kind of comes with him at this point.
Is it worth it for me? So here's I guess where I'm at is he's a great guy. He's a lot of what I've been looking for so long.
Which is what?
So he's just super respectful. He's good at communicating. And this might sound a little weird, but he reminds me a lot of my dad in the sense that he works hard. I've always been with these, first off, I've had the worst relationships in the past, but I've just always been with these guys who big drinkers, which I'm a drinker, it's fine. But they always want to go to the bar, do this, that, and the other. My dad, I come from a family of drinkers. And my dad can just go to work, come home, he'll work on things, very productive, and have a couple beers at the house. And same with him. And we just get along. We like the same things, all that fun stuff.
Okay. With restraining orders, huh? So she's actually gotten restrainer orders against you. Is that on your record? How's that work?
No. So it would if it was counted against me. But so she went for the first one, who she included her son on, who actually she got him to like lie, basically. And neither of them showed up. So it got completely dropped, dismissed. She tried to get another one just for herself, which she didn't need considering she was a part of the first one.
What did the kid lie about? What was the lie?
He said that I offered him sleeping pills, which was a lie. I make his dad drink. I'm a crazy whore. Just all these things. Apparently she's gotten in trouble for that in the past, which has never happened. I've seen this kid 3 times for maybe 5 minutes, whenever I first met him. And the last 2 times I saw him for maybe an hour, a couple hours, went to Topgolf, went to a comedy show. And after that is when she just got pissed off, lost her mind, and she filed the first one.
Well, do you think it's worth it? I mean, at the end of the day, like, what does he say or what is he willing to do about this, if anything?
He's been talking to lawyers trying to get it to stop because she's even coming after him for everything. So they were together for 20 probably years. And they got divorced in 2016. They broke up for probably a year and a half. Apparently she cheated on him, came out and told him, and then left for like a year and a half. But he was still validating her at some point, like still wanting her back at that point, is what I've been told. And then now they broke up only probably a few months before him and I started talking. And this is probably the first time in her life that like he's not giving her the time of day.
Yeah.
And so I think she's just losing her shit. Now, my question is like, do you think it's going to stop eventually? Is this kid always going to hate me? That's my problem, is like, I do really want to be with him.
So the kid's 15, right? In 3 years, he'll be an adult. So that's good news for you.
Yeah.
You know? And so, any co-parenting or things like that, though, it'll be kind of more on a want, not a need type of situation. Obviously, I'm assuming your boyfriend will want to have a relationship with his son, but the kid will be an adult. And as he gets out of mom's house and control, I don't know if, hopefully he goes off to college. I don't know. Hopefully the kid's motivated and wants to do things and get out of the nest. It would, it might make it harder if he doesn't, maybe mom doesn't want to lose another man in her life. So she convinces him not to go to school or move out and coddles him. And I don't know. But the good news is there's a chance that when he turns 18, as far as the more he becomes an adult, the more he'll be able to see things for himself. And obviously he's going to be protective of his mom and shit like that. The kid is less of a concern. If you've only been dating this guy for 6 months, he has no reason to think that you're sticking around for any long period of time. And if you do, he'll adjust. So the kid's not really the concern.
Well,
other than the fact that the kid seems to be willing to make up lies, according to you, about...
He's very disrespectful. I don't even know if my boyfriend is comfortable having him around at this point, because he is just following in his mother's footsteps so badly.
Well, that's between your boyfriend and him.
Yeah.
It just seems like you don't have a lot of insight on your boyfriend's handling of all this.
Mm-hmm.
Does your boyfriend, has he acknowledged that this is an untenable situation for you and not sustainable? I mean, you've literally had, multiple restraining orders threatened against you for simply just dating the guy. You can't be that good in bed.
Yeah, so he knows that I've been like clear with him that I've wanted to walk away plenty of times. And he knows that. Like, I even told him tonight that like he came over, he's downstairs right now. I was like, hey, I'm doing this podcast. I've asked him, like, should I leave? Should I not? He's just so adamant about like us working out and that we get along so well, and it'll all like be over at some point. And I was at the point where like I was about ready to leave. And then I don't know, something just happened in my head that I was like, okay, like maybe this is fine. Like he is one of like the better guys that I've dated. Honestly, the best, to be honest. He's amazing.
Do you live with him?
No, which he wants me to move in soon, actually, because my lease ends up.
Well, maybe don't do that. Well, you've only been dating for 6 months, right?
Yeah.
So maybe if you think he's worth it, And if you think he's that special, I think that there are ways where you can try to make this work. It's going to require for you guys to maybe, I don't know about slow things down, but maybe not always hang out at his place.
Yeah, we don't.
Maybe not be there when his kid's there. I mean, you don't have to play house. I'm just saying, like, you've only been dating for 6 months. Like, you can have a more casual relationship. I mean, by casual, I mean, it doesn't have to be casual like some sort of situationship or hookup, but you don't have to hang out 5 days a week.
Mhm.
You don't have to live with each other and play house and sleep over at each other's places all the time. And, I don't know if this is going to stop. I don't know this person, but it is raw. And there's a good chance that she'll eventually get over it. To your point, this is the first time in their relationship where his ex-wife feels powerless and like she doesn't have the control that she once had. So people react very poorly often to losing power they're so used to having. And they often react kind of in a childlike way, like she seems to be doing. And that if that is the case, then there is a good chance that things will die down. And if he stands his ground and sticks up for himself and makes it very clear that he wants nothing to do with her and figures out a way to get his son to still respect him. And, his son's 15, so he's going to be acting out and maybe even blaming his dad for ruining it's a very tumultuous time for this kid, so you don't take it out on the kid. And as far as she is concerned, yeah, I mean, you would think if she's that bad, why doesn't he get a restraining order against her?
I've asked him that question. I've asked, we've talked to lawyers, and they basically think it looks bad because he should always have his phone available because their 15-year-old son. And I will say, she plays it pretty well. She's gotten these restraining orders that I can't be around for, say, 2 weeks till the actual court date. She'll leave her son with him so that I cannot come around.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds pretty toxic. Kid's not going anywhere. I don't have a good answer for you.
That's the first on your podcast.
Well, I mean, it's a very unique situation. Man. Well, what does your boyfriend think? I mean, he can't possibly just be like, he's just saying, wait it out.
Yeah, he's basically just telling me how much he wants us to work, very adamant about it, that we just get along too well and he cares so much about me and it'll all be worth it whenever she finally stops. But will she actually stop? I don't know.
What does your gut tell you? Do you think he's worth it?
Well, my gut for the longest time was telling me no, this is fucking crazy. I need to get the fuck out. What am I doing? I'm too young. I was in a 3-year toxic relationship before this. It was the worst. I'm now I'm dating a pretty damn good guy who has this toxic situation that's stressing me out. But then recently, honestly, I don't know how because this just happened a couple of weeks ago. But I'm just okay, I can make this work. It's fine. But I don't know what to do. I'm losing all my healthy habits right now.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the best solution is to say to your boyfriend, listen, I don't know what I'm going to do. Because I do love you and I care about you and I want to make this work, but this is nuts. So I just need to distance myself for a while. And, I'm not making a decision, but I just need you to figure your shit out. I need you to figure out how you can create a safe environment for me because I can't just keep hanging out with you. I'm having fucking restraining orders filed against me. I don't need that shit. So I just need to take a step back, call me when you want to hang out, but I need you to figure out your shit because this is nuts.
Yeah.
Literally.
So I kind of told him that same thing. It's listen, I know you want to be with me and make this work, but this is really toxic for me. I've actually brought up maybe we should take a step back and just see how that works out because, she's acting this way to you by yourself already. And he's well, I don't want her to win. I'm it's not about that. It's about my mental sanity here.
Yeah, I don't really care about whether she wins or loses. Listen, deal with your shit. I'm not here to tell you what to do or not to do. I have no idea that you guys have a history I can't begin to comprehend. I don't want her to win either, but I'm not worried about you two in your fight. I'm just worried about the fact that this is just not a safe environment for me. And it's unfair for you to ask me to continue to put myself and clearly a not safe environment while you figure out your shit. I don't know what you have to do. I don't even know what you can do. I just know that I don't have the answers, and I just can't sit here and wait around for your ex-wife to ruin my life. I just got accused of drugging a minor. That's not worth it to me. Until you can make me feel like this is safe for me to be in, I can't be around this. I think that's what you need to do.
I also think you need to make sure that you're connected to yourself without factoring in him, because I think if I were in this situation, like such a big part of me would be like, fuck, it's so unfair to him. You know, like there'd be a part of me that's just like kind of being like, but damn, like he's been really good to me. Like he deserves to have a relationship that's a result of his actions. Like I think that's where my head would go immediately. And like, not to say that that's not like maybe it's a relevant point at some point in the conversation, but I think it can be really easy to let that filter everything, like to filter everything through that lens of like, oh, well, and to try to like downplay it. So I think it's like really important to like, you can have amnesty. You can have grace for the fact that like he did not know that this situation would end up this way in the slightest, and he is going through it. But like, make sure that it's coming after you've honestly assessed how you're feeling. Cause like this, like, just like hearing Nick say, like, you got accused of drugging a kid. It's like, I think it's really intense. Yeah. And I just like, it's hard because in relationships, it's like, of course you're doing this for like communion and to find your teammate and your person and the person who will go to bat for you. But in dating, like you're the only one who's capable of looking out for yourself fully.
Yeah, I honestly don't think I've thought about it that way. Like thinking about how personally, like it's affecting me and myself. Like, I felt harsh saying this. I said this to him the other day. I was like, unfortunately for you, like you're going to have to deal with this. And honestly, he's probably going to have to deal with it with any girl that he dates.
Yeah. But that's not a reason for you to stick around. And listen, who knows? Maybe this does get resolved and you guys can rekindle what you started, because, it's not a him problem, it's her. But until he figures out his shit or gets his ex-wife to leave him alone or calm down, I don't know what he has to do. But to Amanda's point, that's not really your problem. I mean, it's becoming she's making your problem. They are making your problem. And so it's like, it's just not a safe environment for you to be in.
And also, like, you're not only is it about you protecting yourself in terms of protecting the relationship, like resentment is going to fester. Like, like this is adding so much stress to your life. Like, as you said, like you're in hell right now. This is bonkers. You had no fucking idea you were signing up for this. And like, as much as I'm sure, like, again, if I were in this situation, like, I think my ego would for sure feel really fucking good about enduring stuff. Like I, from an ego standpoint, would love that I could withstand the drama and be like, I fucking love you, babe. I know that this is a bad situation, but like we're in this and I have your back and like it's us. And that's like where my ego would go. And that's not like, I'm not saying like that's not allowed, but like, I just think that's a really dangerous situation of like, you're getting validated your ego's getting validated on one hand. Meanwhile, like actual substantive emotional needs and viability for the future is kind of being poisoned. Even if it's by an external source, it's like poison's poison.
Yeah, I've already said that to him too, is the fact that like, I feel like I'm starting to resent you and look at you a different way. And it's not because of how you're treating me, but it's your whole situation, the baggage that you carry that is making me feel like awful. And I just can't deal with it.
Yeah, I do think you need to kind of take charge of how this affects you, because right now it seems like you're hoping that he can save the day. And I even kind of imply that it was like his problem to fix and you're kind of waiting around for him to fix it. But like right now, he doesn't have a solution to his problem. You don't have a solution either. I mean, it's not your job to have a solution. So you need to Amanda's point, you need to kind of make this decision based off of what you know now, not what you hope that happens in the future. So what you know now is that this is really toxic and unsafe for you.
From my experience, when there's been an abusive relationship, like, it's like the trust with yourself that gets destroyed is one of the hardest things to build back. And I think it's really important you behave in a way that builds back trust for yourself. And like, where you know that you're really like showing up for yourself and trusting your gut and not constantly kind of like debating your instincts.
Yeah. And again, you don't have to break up with the guy, but you can start creating a lot more space. And you don't need his permission. You're like, hey, babe, I think I should do this. And he's like, no, I think you should stick it out. This is not necessarily a group decision. You're going to have to say, listen, And until I know that I feel safe here in this environment, I can't be here. I can't be around your kid. I've been accused of some crazy stuff. So, for now, if we're going to see each other, it's going to be at my place or out in public when you're not having your kid around. And if if he's responsible for his kid for 2 weeks, then you have to figure that out. But, or just be okay with not seeing him. And then you can kind of reassess then. But I think you need to stop waiting for him to save the day, and you need to make decisions for yourself regarding this situation.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because I even asked him the other day, I'm like, do you have a solution for this? When we were driving, he just paused. I'm like, so no. And he doesn't. So.
No, and I feel for him because he's dealing with crazy.
Literally fucking crazy.
But it might take time for him to show his ex-wife while she thinks you're not in the picture or whatever, that he's willing to stand up for her and just kind of wear her down. Because eventually she probably will give up. Give him advice from me. No matter what you guys decide to do, she and the kid for now shouldn't know anything about his dating life.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a tough situation, but I think maybe just kind of take a time out from it.
Yeah, I agree.
Let things marinate. Hang out. Just stay away from the house for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't there for a whole month till last Saturday, so.
Yeah, I'm sorry you're dealing with all this. And please, let us know how
what you
it
decide
goes. And, it's always really hard to enforce boundaries like this. So, we are all invested in supporting you. And, please, let us know how you're doing. And we can always hop on for, another pep talk if you need it. But I think hopefully.
What did the kid do last Saturday?
So I was coming to stay, so we got there a little late. So our plan was just to go there. I was going to stay the night. So I let him go 10 minutes before I came just to make sure everything was going to be okay. He's like, yeah, it's fine. I'm sleeping. And so I get there, and I guess he heard the truck and he just started freaking out. He came upstairs and there was a little bit of an altercation, and his son called the cops on him. All because he was so mad about me being there.
And what happened with the cops?
So I stayed in the room the whole time. I could hear a little bit of what the son was yelling. His dad was like, "Where's your mom?" Because she's been gone for a month at this point. I guess the cops came. They were there for an hour or so. They talked to the son, talked to him. Eventually, they got the son basically to leave. And now the son's with his mom.
Yeah, I don't know. They raised a little monster. That matters.
Sounds like dad might have a little monster inside of him as well.
Yeah, family therapy.
I don't know, but yeah. I don't think your boyfriend gets let off the hook with what is now the family dynamic. What was the altercation?
Well, I was in the room the whole time, so I could hear a little bit of a scuffle, but apparently my boyfriend walked up and his son came at him. And so he was just holding him back, I guess, because he was just really mad, swinging. I don't know. But I heard him say stop. And then my boyfriend took him outside. And that's when he just started saying all this stuff. He just always threatens his dad. I'm going to tell them that you were drinking and driving. I'm going to tell them you did this, all the time. I think the mom, she tells him way more things that he needs to know. She's telling him private details between me and his dad, just saying all this stuff, saying we were going to go have kids. He's going to kick him out whenever I move in, all sorts of things.
I mean, I don't, what's going on. I feel for the kid. It's a shitty situation. It's way too toxic. I think you just need to get out. Life's unfair, and I'm sorry your boyfriend's going through this. I feel more for the kid. The kid seems like a little shithead, but he's also only a 15-year-old boy who seems to be have his parents pit them against each other. And I'm sure this kid just wants a hug and wants to feel safe. It's just not going to get resolved anytime soon. It's a tornado that's not going to go away. And so for you to stick around, would you be saying yes to this tumultuous environment for a lengthy period of time? And the first day you were back, this happened. The first day. So why should you think it's safe for you to be there?
The only good thing is that his son is in therapy. Like he went to someone yesterday and he's starting with someone new.
That's great.
God
I guess,
bless.
but
that's not gonna. That's great, but I don't want to expect a lot of magic over.
No, because I think that you are who you are because of how you're raised. And so unfortunately for him.
Yeah, but if mom is
mom
is who you claimed she is, like she can kind of undo that therapy real quick. The good is in therapy. I just wouldn't expect miracles for anything's gonna drastically change anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree.
Step 1, talk with your boyfriend. I would slow things down. I would strongly consider just being like, yeah, I think you are great too, and we do get along, but like this is nuts. I can't do this. And I have no reason to think it's going to change anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Well, keep us posted on what you decide to do. Sorry if I wasn't more helpful, but I do think you need to. I guess my advice is stop hoping things will change.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely, like you said, just need to assess the situation and actually how I actually feel, because clearly I've been doubting it for a while.
Well, let us know how things unfold. We are sending you a ton of support, and we would love an update soon.
Yeah, I will let you know. I think I'm going to have a conversation with him. But then I feel like I'm kind of leaving it open for him to tell me something, and I need to not do that. So
yeah, you got to stop waiting for him to decide the future of this relationship right now. I think you need to take charge of your decisions and do what you think is best for you now with the information that you have now. You've been plenty patient. You've waited for him to come up with solutions. He clearly doesn't have any. I understand why. It might not even be his fault, but you need to start taking charge of your choices in this relationship based off the information you have now. That's my advice. Okay.
I will do my best to do that. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, take care. Keep us posted for sure.
All right, yeah, I definitely will. Let you guys know.
All right, bye-bye. This show is brought to you by BetterHelp. Therapy is important. We can't say that enough. You could do yourself a service by prioritizing your mental health, just like you should prioritize your physical health, your emotional health. Well, your mental health goes a long way to being your best self and making sure that you can meet all your personal goals. If you are in the right space mentally, emotionally, then you can do great things. And BetterHelp is helping you make that happen. Finding the right therapist or a mental health professional can be an intimidating one. It can be confusing. You don't know who to ask. Well, BetterHelp is working with new therapists every day. Literally, they have thousands of therapists that they can have access to. It's super easy to get going, right? You could be talking to a therapist in less than 48 hours. Just go to BetterHelp.com. You take a quick assessment of the reasons why you might be looking for a therapist or a mental health professional. What are you struggling with? What's on your mind? What do you want to get off your chest? Maybe it's work problems, relationship problems. Maybe you just want someone to talk to. Maybe you're just feeling sad. You don't know why. You don't even need a reason. Also, a great thing about therapy is just finding the right therapist. Personality, styles. You want to feel like you have someone that you connect with, someone who creates a safe space for you. And so trial and error. Sometimes you just have to go out and meet someone, and it's just like making friends or dating. With BetterHelp, you can try a therapist. If you don't feel the vibe, just no hard feelings. They'll find someone else. And then you keep finding someone new until you find the right fit. And so with BetterHelp, you could do it face-to-face, or if you don't even want to do face-to-face, you could just do voice-to-voice. Again, they make it super easy, super fun, and there are no excuses not to prioritize your mental health today. So find more balance in your life with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/VIALL today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/VIALL to get 10% off your first month. Hey, crime fighters out there, all you murder mystery fans. Well, I have an exciting new game for you. It's called June's Journey. That's right. Escape your everyday life and experience the world through the lens of June Parker. Everyone loves a good family mystery, especially one with as many twists and turns as June's Journey. Step into the role of June Parker and search for the hidden clues to uncover the mystery of her sister's murder. Engage your observation skills to quickly uncover key pieces of information that lead to chapters of mystery, danger, and romance. Where will each new chapter take you? New fun thing about June's journey is also kind of building a world. And in addition to solving this mystery of your sister's murder, you're building a world that kind of that takes place in the 1920s. Very really fun vibe. You know, people like that kind of period. I like the building of the world kind of aspect of this game. That's what I enjoy about it. Also, just, you know, you love a good problem solving, a good murder mystery. So for all your true crime people out there.
Yeah, the cool part about this game is it's not just an isolated activity. I feel like oftentimes with games, you just feel like you're kind of just doing it by yourself. But you can actually chat with and play with or against other players by joining a detective club. And you even get a chance to play in a detective league if you want to put your skills to the test. So all you people who are out there saying you're the best, you know, murder mystery person at a party, or you can solve all these riddles and mysteries, put your skills to the test and play with other people.
It's a great way to stay connected with friends. So play this game together. Customize your own very luxurious estate island. Let your imagination run wild. Again, super creative, super fun, both with problem solving, creativity. I love it, and you will too. Can you crack the case? Well, download June's Journey for free today on iOS or Android to find out. June needs your help, detectives. Download June's Journey for free today on iOS or Android. How's it going?
Hi, I'm Victoria. I'm 24 and I'm turned off by my partner's lack of ambition.
Okay. How long have you been with your partner?
It's been now since February, so 3 months.
Oh, so it's pretty new.
It is new.
Okay.
We've known each other for 2 years.
Okay. Give me some more information about your partner.
So my partner, he is living with his parents right now, working with his dad.
How old is he?
And he's 24 as well. So he's the same age as me.
Okay. Keep going.
So I'm currently also 24 and I'm working doing sales. So I'm a pretty ambitious person. I'm the type of person that might have 2 jobs at a time, or in my previous job I was working with like a Fortune 100 company and doing sales, and I had a salary, and I've just always strived to do multiple things at once. Like I have a goal to, you know, own a income property. I want like a duplex or a triplex so that I can have like passive income and eventually maybe own more and more. And one time I had a conversation with him about like, oh, like, don't you want to be a millionaire one day, or you want to be super financial and like self-sufficient? And he just doesn't have that same ambition. He was just like, no, not really. And I don't know, it just turned me off kind of completely. But he is a really nice guy. I know when you were on the talk with Chloe, when you had the meeting or the interview with Chloe, you guys talked about does he ever like get out of the car and do the
pumping gas? Yeah.
The gas. And he just does that anytime we're at a gas station. He'll just get out. He'll just look at me and I'll just hand him the card. So he's just an overall nice guy. Actually, today he even like dropped off he didn't drop it off, but he delivered edible arrangements to my house today. So like he's already, I don't know, he just like does things out of his own goodwill to like show me how much he cares.
All right.
At the same time.
All right. I'm going to ask you some questions.
Yeah.
When you think about the type of relationship that you want to be in, obviously, you know, and I've asked this question to other people, but do you want, if you had to pick one, obviously in a relationship, you want a little bit of both, but if you had to pick one, would you want someone to take care of you more, or you take care of them?
Take care of me more.
Okay. How would you like to be taken care of?
I guess acts of service.
Okay.
And financially as well.
So financially as well. Why? But it sounds like you're sounds like you're pretty gung ho in the making money department. You seem money motivated. You seem ambitious. Why does it matter to you that your partner matches that? No right or wrong. I'm just, asking. This is really about, this is an early relationship. You don't know much about them. No one's perfect. And this is about you trying to figure out what you prioritize the most in a partner.
Yeah.
Because you can find a lot of people who are money motivated and ambitious and work hard, and they can be real shitty partners.
Exactly.
Now, it doesn't mean that you have to settle with this guy either.
Exactly. So, I mean, I guess I just want someone that has the same drive and the same passion as me, who would be by my side and working with me. Like if, let's say, if I open businesses and I needed help, or if I'm owning different properties and I needed help. But I guess, I've talked to him about that, and he said he would be, by my side and wanting to do any of that. I guess I just want to see the drive and passion in him as well to do more. Because I am attracted to someone who has that fire and that spark in them.
Okay.
Instead of just me telling them what to do, I want to see it in them as well.
So he's 24 and lives at home.
Mm-hmm.
Do you live at home?
I do.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Is that like a new thing these days?
I think it's just hard to afford life right now.
I also think with the pandemic,
That's what I was going
a
to
lot
say.
of people were pushed home.
And
or
so the
like,
stigma, I think, got like removed.
like all of like if you're 24, you would have been in college around the same time we were. So everyone was sent home from college, and then a lot of people either stayed or decided to save money or couldn't find jobs.
Huh. Yeah, because afford's a relative term.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's nice to have the comforts of mom and dad's house and the amenities that their house might offer you compared to what you could afford on your own. Nice to have, mom and dad have a tendency of being like a built-in like maid service. I don't know what your or his arrangement is, but it might be different for everyone. But
yeah, with my situation, it's kind of hard living at home because I don't think my family has the same. That's another thing that's frustrating for me is just my family. They don't really like have that same drive or passion that I do. So it's like if I had my own place, I'd probably have a schedule and a routine of where I'd want everything clean, like the kitchen deep cleaned, the bathroom deep clean, like everything. But I don't want to be the only one doing it in a house. I actually live in a house with like 7 other people. So it's like a pretty busy house because I grew up very low income. So that's another reason why I guess I'm stressed about my current partner because I don't want to be in the same situation I grew up in. Like,
yeah.
So that's pretty
So
frustrating. I actually
he works for his dad.
He does. They do like carpentry and his dad owns like his own carpentry business. And that's what my dad did as well. So that's another like crossover and parallel that stresses me out because, I saw my struggled my entire life with my father's position and my mom never worked, which was also another thing that I don't align with that. Like I wish maybe she picked up working a little bit more, but it was hard. She had 4 kids and my grandmother was sick and she took care of my grandmother my whole life. But the parallel of the carpentry and then my dad doing carpentry and it not working out, I guess that's another thing that worries me.
Yeah, I mean, there's all different types of success, levels of success of people who are carpenters. He can be a carpenter and have his own general contracting business and be loaded, or it all kind of depends on how ambitious he is. Has he flat out said he's not really money motivated?
Not really, no.
In terms of the time that you spent with him, like what are his spending habits? Do his parents give him money?
So no, his parents actually charge him rent.
Okay.
I don't get charged rent at home, but his parents charge him like $600. And when he told me that, I thought that was absurd for an amount for a family to be charging him. I'm like, I hope they're saving some of it to give you when you eventually move out, because $600 for 1 bedroom sounds like a lot.
I don't find it absurd. I mean, he's 24.
I get charged nothing, so.
But you're very fortunate. But
yeah.
You guys are both adult people living at your parents' house and you're making money. So again, no judgment, but it is, I don't think, I think our parents giving us a free room and board is a luxury, not a right.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, in different cultures, people stay with their parents for years and years. It's really just the American culture that's super independent and individualistic.
Yeah.
In a sense as well.
Totally.
So.
Yeah. I mean, and everyone's different. But you come across as someone who really values their independence and it values like not being dependent on other people. And then you want to, it sounds like it seems like a priority for you to find a partner who matches that, because it sounds like you're very motivated not to have the same circumstances and limitations that your parents had. Do you want to, what are your relationship goals? Do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids? Like what's that look like?
I mean, I would love to get married and have kids one day, but I feel like I wouldn't want to do that unless I know I can fully afford them and them having a good lifestyle and us being able to maybe go on vacations and stuff like that. Cause I haven't had that my entire life. So.
Did you have a pretty, were you happy with your childhood? Were you loved?
I was loved.
Listen, as someone who had 10 brothers and sisters and parents who mom didn't work because she had to raise the kids, dad, I mean, I'm shocked how my parents gave us the quality of life that we got, but we certainly didn't take family trips. And I got my parents shopped at rummage sales, and I wouldn't trade my childhood for anything. Be careful, I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not here to tell you what you should prioritize or not, but I think it's great that you have used this as motivation for you to be hardworking and ambitious, and as someone who is in some ways money motivated, I think it's great that you are as well. But just be careful not to make so many of your decisions as an adult based off of your childhood.
Right.
Like you have the rest of your life to go to Disney World and take trips and travel wherever you want to go. And it's just a matter of deciding what do you want to spend and invest your money on. How much have you talked to him about this?
I've talked to him about it a decent amount. And when it comes to even with his dad's company, I've been like, so what do you do to try to learn about the business structure with your dad? Or what do you do to maybe try to get some more sales and try to see if you can get any commissions off of any of the buildings or whatever work that you guys do? Because I mean, I would see it as an opportunity where he could maybe find more leads or, try to find more avenues for income for his dad and see what it's like on the administrative side, see what it's like as if he was a business owner too. And I don't see him doing any of that, but he said that that's something he'd be interested in. But then I don't see him putting it into practice.
I would ask him, what is enough for you when it comes to your career? Because if I asked you that question, I bet you could give me some answers. I bet you could tell me what's not enough.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, right now I'm doing life insurance sales, and I would say it's been really slow. I haven't made a single sale in like 3 weeks. And that's one thing that's also stressing me out. And I guess putting more pressure on him, because I'm like, if this was to happen, 5-10 years down the line, what would you be doing that would be compensating where I'm having a loss?
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe you could learn to stress out a little bit less.
Right.
The good news is you're 24 and you are getting sales experience. That's an excellent career to have. If you're good at sales, you can make a ton of money. It's one of those kind of jobs that you can be paid very well. And as you rise up kind of the different types of sales opportunities available to you, you're eventually going to have friends who think that you never work and make a ton of money. But it takes a certain type of gumption to be in sales, as you know. You make a lot of calls and put out a lot of requests, and you get rejected a lot, and not everyone's cut out for that.
Yeah.
And so you are getting really good experience in a very tough industry. So the type of, and you have a very kind of classic kind of entry-level sales gig. Like if you decided to ever get into like medical sales or, the more expensive the thing that you're selling, the more money you can make. Like I used to do software sales. That's like, and when it comes to the sales industry, that's often thought of as kind of a, where you want to get to. And in those types of, organizations, they love people who, worked in these types of environments where they show a willingness to, make the calls, get rejected, be creative, find new ways to come up with different solutions. You're meant to struggle at this point in your career in sales, especially, So that's just kind of like on a professional level. Don't beat yourself up too much.
Yeah, I have been, to be honest. So
try not to. Yeah. Do you like what you do? Do you like the sales aspect of what you do?
I do to an extent. It's just been so hard the month of April and like this month of May. I've been kind of losing all momentum and all kind of passion towards it. I did have a lot of passion towards it when I first started, but now, I mean, I haven't seen a good paycheck in a while. So I don't really, there's no way for me to be happy about it. I'm just getting kind of frustrated with it at this point.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have time to figure it out. You're You're early in your career.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, and you might try different sales jobs. Yeah, I mean, as far as this guy goes, I don't know. Now, knowing what I know now about your career and your frustrations, how much do you think that's weighing on how you feel about him?
Yeah, I mean, I would say 100% because in the past, like I lived with my ex-boyfriend for like 2 years and he was making six figures doing tech. So I felt really secure if anything was ever not going well for me, if I wasn't working, he was always there to back me up. He'd pay for groceries or, pay for rent and everything along those lines. So I felt very secure. And then I'm just used to, I guess, dating guys who kind of spoil me financially. It's just something I enjoy. I don't know. I just enjoy getting taken out on dates and like maybe a few gifts here and there. But I mean, he's gone out of his way. Like he delivered, he got me edible arrangements today, which I didn't even ask him for it. He just did it out of his own. He just said he felt like I deserved it. So he still does that in any way he can at this point. So maybe once he does make more, I'll.
Well, does he want to make more or does he want to work for dad forever?
Well, exactly. That's the thing.
I have a question. Like, do you think this is, and it could totally be a combination but I'm kind of curious if this feels more of like a gut reaction and like the ick category of like, oh, damn, I guess he's just like not, maybe I'm realizing things about him where he's not like hot in the way I want him to be. Or does it feel more like, oh, I've kind of hit this nerve of like, I know parts of my childhood are like really tender that I'm still like working through and dealing with. And this seems to have like kind of accidentally stepped on that landmine because it has to do with like finances and security and stability. Like, does it feel kind of more like inner child or more like, I don't know, like like your inner horny person who's like attracted to people, like
your
inner lover.
Child or your inner whore?
Inner child or inner lover, or maybe neither.
I would say it's maybe a mix of both in a sense, because I did get a little bit of an ick when he said that he like wasn't sure like what he wanted to do career wise, and I got an ick in that sense. But then maybe it was a mix of the inner child coming out, being like, oh, I need to feel secure and stable as well.
Yeah. But it just has, and he said he's not super money motivated.
Yeah, no, not at all. He was like, oh, I like fuck money, like money's stupid. I don't know. Made some like comment about money, and I'm like, well, you can't have that mindset, because if you don't like something, you're not going to get it. You have to change your relationship with money to be able to have a positive relationship, to have a positive outcome. You can't just like hate money, because then you're never going to make it.
I think it sounds like, and maybe it's just icks building up and these things can be overcome, because it does sound like he is, you say you want acts of service. It sounds like he is doing those things, which is really great. But maybe on this matter, there's just a difference in compatibility, because, if he is really just like fuck money and you're really, really motivated by that, he's going to get frustrated with you if he feels like he can never be enough. And then you are going to get exhausted feeling like you're constantly trying to, give him a TED talk on financial wellness and trying to inspire him to be more like you. So it's like, I don't want both of you to reach a point of just like, I can never satisfy the other person because we are so different in this area. So do you think it's something where you could just kind of say, in the meantime, it is a newer relationship. He's doing all these other things. I'm going to kind of put this money stuff on the back burner because we're not living together. We're not, having kids at this stage. We're not doing all of this. I'm going to find out more about him in the meantime, or is like a complete non-negotiable for you?
I do want to see how it unfolds over time. And I want to see, how he grows as a person, because I've known him for a while and he's been a good friend of mine for a while. And I gave him a chance because I've seen him like go out of his way for me in ways that other guys like never have. So he does do those acts of service that I've always looked for in a partner. Exactly. So, because my ex-boyfriend, he would pay for everything all the time, super financially secure. But then if I asked him like, hey, can you like pick up this food for me? I'm hungover. Like if I was super hungover or something and I love pho so much, like he wouldn't offer to go pick it up, but like my current boyfriend would. Or like if I was like, hey, there's snow on my car, can you get the snow off my car? He'd be like, why would I do that? I got a garage so that I would never have to get snow off my car ever again. But if I asked my current boyfriend to do that, he'd be like, oh, it would already be done before I wouldn't even have to ask. You know what I mean? So I don't want someone who just swipes a card and is like, oh, you're taken care of. I don't have to do anything. But I don't want someone who is not looking to make a lot of money. And I even said to him that like my concerns that I don't want to end up like how I was raised. And he was like, oh no, you won't. Like that's not gonna, I wouldn't let that happen. But then I'm like, how do you like what are
does
you
that mean?
doing?
Yeah.
Like what are the steps you're taking? I don't see it. I don't know what he's gonna do, you know, unless he owns his dad's business. But
And is he a college grad? No.
no, he's not a college grad. I'm not a college grad either. I actually went to college when I was 16 because I was super ambitious, but
And smart,
never
apparently.
ended up graduating because I ended up getting married and divorced. That's a whole nother
Oh, wow.
story, though.
Okay. Wow.
I've lived a lot of lives for being 24. So, yeah.
You can still go back to school, by the way.
I know. I've thought about it. I just don't know what I would want to do.
I guess I'm not even sure what you want to do. Like, are you working now because you're 24 and, you know, you want to make some money, but like deep down, you know, you want to get married, have kids, be a mom and stay at home and raise your kids? Or are you career motivated where you know that you're always going to want to have a job, you're always going to want to make your own money, and even if you have kids, you want to figure out a way with your partner to be able to maintain your work and your independence and your sense of self, et cetera, et cetera?
So yeah, with this job, the ability to create residual income is what appealed it to me, because
Sure.
with the life insurance policies you sell, eventually you can create and build up a monthly income.
Yeah, I'm totally familiar.
So
Yeah.
I liked that because I could have technically retire in 10 years and then just collect the residuals consistently. And I would want to purchase income properties and have a lot of properties under my name. So I have that as residual income, maybe even purchase businesses. So like long term, I want to own a lot of businesses so I don't ever have to work anymore. And then, yeah, I could be a mom and everything along those lines. But being a mom is not my end all be all. I'd rather, I'd rather just make a lot of money. I even want to start like a nonprofit organization one day if I could. I'd rather like help people than birth my own spawn into the world.
Sure. Well, that's great. It's great that you know that. So given that, I feel like it's less important that your partner matches that energy, because it seems like you have that energy and now you just need someone who compliments you, you know? The fact that you had a partner in the past that was capable of supporting you at any given time is a luxury, but it doesn't sound like it's a requirement based off of your long-term goals, from what I'm hearing.
Right.
So that allows you to prioritize things like acts of service, your current boyfriend's willingness to, you know, make you feel loved because he never wants you to, you know, scrape snow off your car, or you know, pump your own gas, or just kind of goes out of your way. And that's how he takes care of you, is to make you feel loved and cared for. And he's going to make a little bit of money here or there, but he's, you know, never going to make six figures. He's never going to be the breadwinner. And if he does, it's because he kind of fell into it rather than, you know, made it a personal goal of his. Because at 24, if you think he doesn't have a ton of ambition, I wouldn't sit around and expect that to change. It's kind of something that you either have or don't have, you know, unless something he experienced. I mean, I don't expect him to wake up and just all of a sudden in his late 20s be money motivated. He's going to have to experience something that's going to have to change that. But right now it sounds like, you know, he's living at home for $600 a month. That fits within his budget, and it sounds like he is a guy who kind of he doesn't require all that much. He is able to live simply, you know?
Yeah, which I admire.
Yeah, there's a value in that. I have friends who are more comfortable with a different lifestyle. That doesn't mean they're any less happier than I am, you know? Like, you know, the only thing about having money is just like not getting stressed out by getting parking tickets. You know, that's what that's honestly, it's just being a little more wasteful, you know, without like worrying about, that's it. Other than that, that's all it really does. It's nice, you know, but it isn't the end all be all. So to me, it sounds like, yeah, this isn't necessarily a fireable offense to him. It sounds like right now you personally are going through kind of a down period in your career, which is making you stressed out a little bit more about money than you otherwise would. And it's probably making you miss the financial support you came to expect from past partners. But talking to you about your long-term goals, it doesn't seem as important to you as being cared for and loved in other ways. Doesn't mean this is your guy, but it means that maybe you could, staying in this relationship for a while and just continue to get to know him and see how things go. And as far as your current profession, it's a high turnover job that you have. They hire a lot. Most people try it for 6 months, quit, say, fuck this, because they don't have the staying power. And the people who make it in your profession, part of why they've made it and they're making so much money is because they had the resiliency to get through what you're going through now. And I'd be willing to bet if you talk to some of the most successful people in your industry, they have a handful of horror stories and tough years or tough months and things like that. And it's kind of like you have to get to a point where you get this kind of tipping point, shavings make a pile, and all, like, if you stick with it and you get creative, it's just all of a sudden it's just going to happen. And once it happens, then it's gravy, because you're right, because then you get into that kind of residual earnings and things like that. There's a reason why it's so hard, because they don't want that many people to have this type of job that you can make it. There's people in your profession making millions. Yeah. But most of them don't.
I've been like job searching. I mean, I haven't made anything in 3 weeks in the month of April.
Can you get a part-time job? You're still
I
young.
Definitely could.
Bet you get a bartending job. You can sell some life insurance while you bartend. I bet you meet a lot of young, successful, but seriously, you can meet a lot of young professional men who don't know what to do. Like, in their, a lot of late, single men in their late 20s, early 30s who haven't settled down, and they've accumulated a little bit of cash and they don't know what to do with it. And then you're like, you sell them life insurance.
Right.
Working a golf cart at a golf course, a lot of rich guys.
Yeah,
rich
I don't think they'd want to. I bet they already have life insurance, though.
Maybe, but you got to find.
You can always get more.
You need to make some money, so you need a part-time job. So pick a part-time job that gives you the opportunity to network. So bartending, or maybe and if you're going to bartend, don't bartend in a place where college kids hang out. Bartend in a place where young professionals businessmen go, or things like that. They're going to want to talk to you, get to know you, and be like, oh, this is a part-time job. I actually sell life insurance. Like, you need any, you want any? And you get a lot of no's, or people already have some, but you can work it,
100%.
But for someone, if you're really money motivated, that's the stuff you're going to need to do to make it. As far as your relationship, I think, stick with it for a while. You've only been dating them for a few months. It sounds like there's a lot of things you like that you value, and the things that you don't like, TBD. And it sounds like maybe you're stressing out a little bit more than you otherwise would, given your current personal situation. And you might be projecting a little bit of your childhood onto him a little bit. The fact that he's in construction and your dad was in construction, and play it out, get to know him. It's still really early, still a lot to learn about this guy. So you may find out he's not your guy, but in the meantime, it sounds like it's a bit premature to break up with him, because if you were crushing it at your work right now, I'm guessing you'd be less concerned.
Yeah, I agree. And he has a good support system.
I would strongly consider getting a part-time job that is also a networking opportunity for your main job. You could certainly you can pay your bills, and you even travel a little bit and network and meet a lot of people who might introduce you to people who might in the future need life insurance. You got to play the long game in the job that you have right now.
That's really good advice.
Okay. Well, keep us posted.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Have a good rest of your day, guys.
You as well. Take care.
Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye. Hey, all you workout warriors out there, if you're looking to upgrade your wardrobe when it comes to your fitness routine, you have to check out Vuori. Whether you're the ladies and men out there, Vuori has something for everyone. Ladies, if you are tired of your man wearing the grimiest sweats and ripped t-shirts, and they're just like a social liability and just a bad representation of you, upgrade your man's workout wardrobe with Vuori. I absolutely love their material. It's incredible. It wicks away moisture. It's also just fashionable. It's trendy, incredible versatility and comfort, designed to look great in everyday life. So even if you're not working out, it's great for just lounging around the house, running errands, super stylish, and also you're looking good at the gym?
I think getting activewear is such an awesome gift. It's usually what I get for my brother, you know, especially for like the men in my life. They're not necessarily like tchotchke or stuff things. And so getting my brother Vuori was so nice because I knew he was going to wear it like all the time, get really good use out of it, and that it would just be like a high quality addition to his everyday life.
Vuori is an investment in your happiness. For our listeners, they are offering 20% off your first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at vuori.com/VIALL. That's VUORI.com/VIALL. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoying free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Just go to vuori.com/VIALL and discover the versatility of Vuori clothing.
Amanda, the other day we were talking about this.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
The conversation that I had with my sister where your skin breaks out and then you want to put makeup on it because you want to hide all the blemishes, and then putting a bunch of makeup clogs your skin and actually makes it worse. So it's just like a chicken and the egg situation and your skin keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
It's a vicious cycle. And I think so often people think about like makeup and skincare as being two completely separate categories. I really like Cosas because they kind of blend the two by making all of their makeup clean. So it has the kind of ingredients that you would look for in your skincare, active, high performing, while also providing that like little extra bit of coverage. They have an amazing concealer, the Revealer Concealer. It is not your mother's concealer. It's super creamy, it's weightless, and it's also a total multitasker.
Also, their website makes it so easy to find what products you want, not only, you know, the list of the products, but also what shade you are, because they have a 5-step shade finder quiz. So you know, and you can feel very confident that you're finding your perfect match of, let's say, the concealer or any other product they have. And so they really just make it a very easy process.
Also, Dream Beam SPF 40. Summer is coming up.
Oh my God,
there is no
80%
excuse
of aging is sun damage.
It is time to make SPF a big part of your morning routine if it's not already. And if it is already, upgrade it. The Dream Beam, it goes on so smoothly.
Millions of people have tried Cosas, making it one of the best-selling makeup collections at Sephora. Their popular award-winning Revealer Concealer has over 1,000 5-star reviews. So, don't choose between wearing great makeup and taking care of your skin. Right now, Cosas is offering our listeners 15% off your first purchase of $50 or more when you go to Cosas.com/VIALL. That is KOSAS.com/VIALL for 15% off your first purchase of $50 or more, plus free shipping. That's Cosas.com/VIALL. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's your name?
My name's Carissa and I'm 23. So this guy keeps on pursuing me hard, but never follows through.
Okay. What do you mean by hard?
So you'll find out then. But kind of for context, the guy that I'm talking about, him and I, we have like some mutual friends and we kind of like know of each other. So going back to the very beginning, he DM'd me completely out of the blue and asked me on a date. He suggested grabbing dinner, but then he never followed up. At that point, I was kind of like, whatever, like bizarre, but I don't know, didn't really care that much about it. So then fast forward a week later, I run into him one night out and I kind of gave him a hard time about it, kind of confronted him, was kind of like, dude, like, what the heck? Like, that's kind of annoying, like on your part, honestly. But long story short, after a few drinks, he ends up at my apartment that night and we hooked up. After that, we texted for a few days and then it kind of fizzled out. Again, was whatever, just kind of thought of it more of as a one night stand. There was no emotional attachment at all.
Before you hooked up with him, did you ask him about why he never followed up with the dinner request?
Yes, and it was so bizarre. So he DM'd me on Instagram and he was like, I delete Instagram during the week. And I was like, that's kind of bullshit, but whatever. So then he like gave me my number, or he gave me his number, and then he was like, just text me. So then he was like texting me all night and was like, I want to like come see you or whatever. So then fast forward to 4 whole months after we hooked up that one time, didn't talk to each other at all. 4 whole months later, he texted me out of the blue and was like, are you in town? I wasn't that night. And then that was just kind of the end of it, just whatever. A week later, I text him and I asked if he was going out that night, and he was. So then we kind of were texting the whole night about meeting up, and he was the one that suggested on meeting up. But every single time I would encourage him to, he kind of was dancing around the idea, kind of just being like, should I come? Should I not? At one point in the night, he asked for my address, so I sent it to him. And then again, he kept on kind of being flaky. But then he proceeds to start sending some spicy texts to me and just saying some random things, whatever. But then after a little bit of flirting back and forth, he sends me a partial nude. Again, I did not ask for this at all. He just sent it to me.
Describe the partial nude.
So it was okay. So he was laying down. He didn't have a shirt on. It was just kind of like angled to like his abs. Like you could see like he wasn't wearing underwear, but like you couldn't see like his dick.
Okay.
But I was like, I was not asking for that, but whatever. But this is the strangest part of it. You know, like whenever you save a picture, you then can go into your pictures and you can see when it was taken.
Mm-hmm.
This was taken in 2020. Yeah. I was like,
Dear.
So when
He
you
sent you a 3-year-old half nude?
A toddler
Pretty-
age nude.
exactly. And I was like, what the hell? Like, again, did not ask for this nude at all. But the fact that it was from
Did you call
3
him
years
out?
ago is bizarre.
Did you call him out for it?
No, I didn't. I was waiting to see him in
Why not?
person to be like, you know what? Like, screw you, honestly. Like, you're stupid. Like, I'm not that dumb, but
Why
whatever.
wait to see him in person? You just be like, what's with the nude from 2020?
Exactly. So,
Your nude has dust on it.
Yeah.
I know, seriously. But so again, after the nude was taken, or after he sent me the nude, I was like, dude, come over if you want to, like, whatever. After that,
Wait,
I heard
instead of
nothing
calling
from
him out, you
him.
invited him over?
I know. Hey, it was at like 4:00 in the morning, so it probably wasn't the smartest idea ever. But then,
Well, he
so,
sent that photo to so
I know.
many chicks.
I know.
The mileage that's gotten over the last 3 years?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, probably some miles, honestly. So
How
this
does
kinda-
abs look? I'm like, has he gained weight? Like, I just wonder if he's like, he took one photo where his abs were just fucking crushing, and he's just like, you know what?
I'm going to run with this for
I'll
the rest
never
of my
look
life.
better than this.
Honestly, probably like 3 years ago, he probably has like gained some weight from that. But so it's
Which
kind
is
of
fine, but it's, you know.
exactly like, I don't know. Like, do you also just have like a random album, all of your nudes that you're gonna like pick from or whatever? But I don't know. Bizarre
He
to
didn't
me.
even ask for it either.
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
I literally did not ask for it at all. Like, no, I was not
All
gonna
right,
partake
so
in
what
it.
else? Where are we now?
So this kind of the last part of it all. So the following week, he texts me first, okay? This is what he says to me. For your schedule tomorrow night, I want to see you. Like, okay, like that's kind of hot. And then he follows it up by, I want to fuck you and I want to fuck you hard. And I was like, okay, like, wow, like that's pretty like straightforward. Like, that's cool.
Is that hot? Or
I mean, I feel like so. Like I feel
that is
like
hot. Allie's nodding.
yeah. Like
I
you
think
want a
it
guy
is.
to be like, yes, I want to do X, Y, and Z to you. Like,
Yeah.
be straightforward.
I mean, like in the right context, sure, but this, my understanding is this is completely out of the blue. You haven't heard from him in 4 months.
Well, he's just set up a date though.
well, no,
He's
this
just
was
playing.
so.
Clear your night.
Clear your night.
This actually
I wanna fuck
you.
was
I wanna
like
fuck
a
you
week in
hard.
between the partial nude and then these texts. So
Did you respond to that?
yeah, I was like, well, so this is odd. So I ended it at that. The next night I texted him and I said, hey, are you gonna like come over? Like, you're
Wait,
very.
so did you leave him on? Sorry to interrupt. Did you leave him on red for the like, I want to fuck you so hard? Like, did you react or anything?
I was like, oh, okay, like
Okay.
that's cool. Like,
Totally. So it's
whatever.
There's no version in which he could think you're ghosting him or like
Oh, no.
unresponsive.
Well, the
Copy.
funny thing about it too, I was the one that ghosted him whenever he asked me on a date, like a while or after we had hooked up, like, cause we were talking back and forth for a few days. And then I just kind of ghosted him because I was like, whatever, like it was just like a one night thing. Like, I don't really need to like follow up with this. And then he was the one that reached out to me again.
When
4
was
months
this?
So-
When was this?
So we hooked up back in like November-ish, and then he texted me at the end of April. Middle
So
of
the
April.
expired nude was in November?
No, the nude was he sent it in April.
Okay, so April, he sent the expired nude. You had the 4 a.m.
Yes.
hookup, and then he texted you after that, being like, "Let's do it again. Clear your night. I want to fuck you so hard."
No, we hooked. The last time we hooked up was actually, and sorry if I didn't make it clear.
Yeah, our
last time
timeline's
that
all
we-
over the fucking place.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. We're gonna pick it for
Sorry.
you.
You could be
Don't
sitting on his
apologize,
lap
Carissa.
right now, and we would have no idea.
So no, the last time I saw him and hooked up with him was back in November. Haven't seen him since.
Okay,
Yeah.
so hooked up in November. She kind of soft ghosted after. Then we get a nude out of the expired nude.
When? In April?
April.
This is in April.
Yeah, in April.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah.
you don't you do respond or don't respond to that?
I did. I was like, okay, like whatever. Like I'm down to
You
hook up
invited
again.
him
Like,
over.
whatever.
He didn't come over.
Yeah, he didn't come over.
But it was 4 a.m.
yes.
Yes.
So
then
he
one
sent
week
you a
later,
drunk nude from 2020, fell asleep.
Probably, maybe. But
Almost
then,
certainly.
the following week, that's when he texted me and was like, clear
At the end of
your
April.
schedule.
At the end of
Yeah.
April.
I want to
Yes,
fuck
so-
you
I want
hard.
to fuck you hard after you eat
But
some
you still
food.
haven't seen each other since November.
And then you
No.
said cool to that, basically.
Yeah, but
Sounds
sure,
good.
whatever.
And then what? And then he didn't.
And then, so the next night I kind of was like, hey, are you coming over? He emphasizes those 2 texts that he sent me from the previous night. And I was like, you did not like answer my question. And then he was like, am I invited? And I was like, sure, I guess. And then nothing at all.
What do you want from this? Why are you here? Why not here? Like with this guy? Not here. I mean, I'm so glad you're here. But like, why are you invested in this?
I guess I'm not. I think it's just bizarre. Like, why would a guy say all these very like straightforward things and not follow up? Because in my
he
eyes,
can.
I'm like, you look like a pussy.
I'll tell you. Well, I'll tell you why. Because you're not. You might be calling him a pussy to us, and you might be making fun of him to your friends and rolling your eyes, but you haven't shared any of that information to him. Like, as far as he is concerned, he's just like whipping out these nudes and saying these crazy things, and and every time he does, you're either inviting him over or following up with him, and then, no matter what he does or doesn't do, anytime he pops back into your life, you're like, cool, I'm down. You're always down, and there are no consequences for his actions. So there's no reason for him to change his actions. You haven't called him out for the old dusty nude. Like when he hit you up with like, oh, hey, I want to take you to dinner and fuck you hard. You could have been like, do your abs still like they did in 2020?
oh my God.
You're something,
No, that is
something to call him out for this behavior. Just call him a fuckboy. He is the most fuckboy. And you're just not, you're not even calling him out for that. You don't even have to be mean. You could at least be playful and challenge the guy. But all you've done is just make yourself super available for just like, fucking around. And like, I'm sure some of these messages are happening when he's drunk. He just doesn't give a shit, and he just doesn't care, So it's just like no skin off his back to say some crazy shit because like, it's probably fun for him to say this crazy shit for him. You're just like kind of something for him to test these crazy things off because you don't say anything. You just let him keep doing it.
No, but the thing is, I was like, I just want to like see you in person, just kind of be like, okay, like screw you. Well, not screw you, but just kind of like call him out. But also,
why
I
do you have
haven't
to see
had
him
that
in
chance
person?
yet
Like,
either. But also, whatever.
Yeah, just be like, nah, I'm over it. You're kind of wasting my time, or just have fun with it. You don't even say like, I would if you had the guts to follow through on your promises.
Well, that's the thing about like whenever the whole like date thing or whatever, I saw him out and I basically like yelled at him and I was like, dude, like that's like kind of like weird. And then
yelling at him, I don't know, it's just more, you got to call him out in the moment.
Yeah.
You can't like not say anything and then randomly run into him 2 months later. That's, and just be like, hey, like you're not in a relationship with this guy. He's just,
oh God, no.
He's such a fuckboy.
Yeah.
And you are trying to make sense of a guy who's not interested in making sense.
Like, I think he's just being kind of impulsive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
doesn't care.
you're thoughtful, and you're right now, like the way you're approaching your dating life is you're contextualizing things, and you're like being like, this is his history, like in this moment, like, like you're just dating in a way where you're like a little more like thoughtful and informed, and he's just like, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's just like doing whatever he feels in the moment. And I think I imagine there's so many ways that you're just kind of like in trying to figure out what's going through his head. You're using all of these like logical things that are standard for you, but for like this dumbass, this lovely dumbass, like it's probably just like not the same consideration.
He sent you a nude he originally took for his quarantine cutie. Like that was not for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta shame him a little bit, call him out. I don't know. in the moment, you have to challenge him,
Yeah.
ask him questions like, why are you so weird?
Are you acting this way? Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like,
Or,
what?
dare him to follow through. It's like you're a lot of talk and you don't back it up. Like, do you only talk about fucking people or do you actually follow through?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But like throw that his way and see how he can respond to that.
Mhm.
Is
But-
he able to
definitely.
take it in stride or does he get weird? And
But
ghost
also, if
again?
you
Yeah.
are, as Manna claims, dating with like thoughtful intention,
Just like more thoughtfulness than him.
I think you're, at the end of the day, you're just wasting a lot of time on someone who's not worth your time.
No, I agree. Definitely. That's why I kind of was like, I didn't really think much of like the beginning of it because I was like, whatever, like, I don't care. Like, it was just like a one night thing. But I was like, wait, why are you like texting me literally months after? Like, I don't know, just like so much time has passed. Like, who cares
Because
at
he
that
can.
point, you know?
Because at the moment, it's the most convenient. He's hoping that you let him up to your apartment to have some
Yeah.
sex.
True. That's
He's
very
just
true.
he's just keeping his options open.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't care. He
Mhm.
doesn't care if he ever talks to you again.
And like when people are impulsive like this, it's like they're laying little traps for a thoughtful person to be like, what is the motive behind? Like, like if you're like
Yeah.
kind of applying rationale and
he
logic.
has no thought. He's
Uh-huh.
putting no thought into this. He's very reactive. He's impulsive. Most of this stuff, I'm guessing, is out of boredom,
Yeah.
out of impulse, out of being drunk. It's 4 a.m. Like, none of it is meant to make any sense. So stop trying to make sense of it.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm like
Yeah.
over it now. I'm just like, this is like so odd.
Yeah, how old is he?
Same age as me.
How old are you again?
23.
23.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I would also-
23-year-old fuckboy.
Mhm.
I would be careful to like just from my own experience, not in any way trying to like label what's going on with you, but like I would be careful to say you're over it because it's like I think sometimes like it's like when I say I'm over it, it's because I know I'm better than something. Like I'm better
Yeah.
than a situation. Like this situation is below me and I've identified that and I'm ready to do better. But like if someone, but then they text me and I feel some kind of way about it, like you
Mhm.
still get the butterflies. And so I
Yeah.
think it can be kind of easy for like me at least to like end up in this kind of false sense of complacency of being like, yeah, this guy's a piece of shit. Like, you can laugh, you can roast him to your friends like Nick was saying, but
Uh-huh.
then still be kind of, but like, it's like, people who are like, oh yeah, I watch reality TV. It's garbage. It's trash. I hate watch it. It's like, they're still watching every
Yeah.
single episode. They're still investing
True.
time in it. And so maybe just
Uh-huh.
like being mindful for yourself of like kind of destigmatizing, like it's natural. Your ego's in this loop. Of course it's going to care a little bit, but just like making sure that you're being honest about the ways that it is affecting you. So that way it doesn't become a situation where like, it does kind of hurt you. And even though you like said you're over it to your friends and felt like that for a while, like it does kind of fuck with you. And then you're embarrassed and you don't want to tell people about it because you knew you were shitty all along. And then like you end up kind of like isolated and without like support. Not that this is that big of a deal. Not that things are going to get
Yeah.
that bad, but just like in general.
Yeah, I don't think it's like him that you're
No.
hung up on. It's just,
No, it's just all the whole situation. So I'm like, why would someone say those things? Like, you just don't like
Yeah, it's
actions
more
speak louder than words.
confusing than anything.
Yeah,
It doesn't feel like they're
totally.
waiting for him to text, but you're like, what are these random data
if it
points?
feels impulsive, it's impulsive. It's not based off
Mhm.
of some sort of feeling he has.
I think that's one of the things that's most whack about dating. Is because like I'm sure from your perspective, you're just like, no way in hell would I send a nude to someone and then ghost or like not
exactly.
follow
That's
through.
what I was thinking. Yeah,
You're
no,
like,
definitely.
you're thinking through. You're putting yourself in their shoes, and you're like, there is literally
Have you not
zero
met
scenarios.
23-year-old men before?
But like that, I think that's what it is. Is like dating,
wanting
like you
to revisit
really
their
have
20-year-old
to.
bodies.
Like you can know men are dumbasses, and you can still learn it a million times again and again.
Very
I
true.
guess.
Again and again.
Again and again.
Maybe just block him?
Yeah.
Yeah, or he's not adding any value. This guy he's not looking for a girlfriend. He's not trying to settle down anytime soon. He's just a good time
Mm-hmm.
in between, and you clearly, to Amanda's point, like, I don't think it's about him, but he is getting in your head.
Yeah.
You are trying to make sense of his behavior.
Uh-huh.
And so there's a pattern here. You keep falling into this pattern.
Yeah.
So just break the pattern by not allowing him to text you late at night. The only thing he can give you is herpes.
Honestly, probably true.
Is the sex even that good?
Like, not really. He has a small, above or below average, I would say.
So yeah, it's just there's no upside here. You know,
True,
it's
yeah.
just something that is preoccupying your time. You're literally you're captivated by this math problem that's not even a math problem.
Yeah, it's just someone mistypoed a bunch of numbers and printed it out by
Yeah.
mistake.
And you're like,
okay,
oh,
complex
He sent you
calculus.
a bunch of data points. There is no line. There's no slope. Like,
Yeah. Are you gonna block them? Are you gonna block them? No, you're not gonna block them.
I mean, probably again. I don't even think he really like lives in my city anymore, so
That's
I
not
don't.
the point.
I don't really know.
That's
to
not
be
the
quite honest.
point. You're not getting the point here.
No, I am. No, but I'll block him.
Oh, are you
Okay.
sure? I don't believe
Yeah,
you.
no, I will. I'm over it. Like it is. Like I don't really care anymore.
Okay. Well, you will know that you're really over it when you block him,
True.
and then delete his number after you block him.
I will do that. No, seriously, I will.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, keep us posted when that happens.
Okay, I
And,
will.
Good luck. Thanks for the
Thank
call.
you. All right. Bye.
All right. All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
So I feel like we've had a similar version of this conversation with dating apps for like how long can you have a photo up there for it's authentic with nudes?
oh, even less. The
Let's say-
expiration date within 24 hours.
Well, okay, so let's
you
say
better look like the nude.
yeah.
okay, so let's say this is not catfishing. Let's say he looks exactly like this 2020 nude. Is it acceptable?
Well, either way, if we now know that the iPhone will out you, so like send it at your own risk and be prepared to explain yourself.
Completely unacceptable. Even if you do look the same. If you do look the same, fucking prove it.
You're just lazy, I guess.
I don't want something that's been sent to dozens of people.
Yeah,
if
at
not
that point
hundreds.
it's like a casting call as opposed to like because I feel
I
like
guess. I don't know if I'll take an old nude.
I think you're allowed to initiate with an old nude is my perspective. I think it's slightly different when you initiate.
Yeah, I've been sent a lot of dick pics I didn't ask for from like random men on apps.
That's a whole other
definitely-
story.
That
Yeah.
definitely have been sent to so many people. And I'm like, what a way to
Yeah, but
introduce yourself.
we're talking about a romantic connection
Yeah,
where
that's
some
even
rapport.
weirder. When you know the person, you have to have an accurate daily nude.
Oh, come on. There's plenty of women listening to this show who have sent their go-to nude.
Old Faithful.
Yeah.
Unreliable. We don't take nudes.
can't
Like how
talk
many
about
times
this.
do you want to bend over
We've
or
never bent
pose?
over.
I'm just saying for the people who have sent nudes, it's like,
Bend over?
whatever you want to do for a nude.
I would
I'm
do some, I would do some clown shit in my nude.
I'm like, what position should I be in
I'm
for a
just
nude?
simply saying that, you gotta get your clothes off or whatever it is. And if you have one in the old holster in the chamber, so to speak, and you are trying to sext away or spice things up, I think it's totally acceptable to send something as long as it still looks and represents you.
Yeah.
Just gonna hold Kiki in front of my
I-
naked body.
That's not a nude.
yeah,
I guess that's true.
yeah.
Censored
I don't think
nudes
there's
from
anything.
Ali.
I don't think there's anything wrong with initiating
With an oldie?
with an oldie,
But a
Oldie,
goodie?
but a goodie.
but you just might get called out for
But
it.
put your opinions in the comments. Please let us know.
I think nudes are
what do
like
you
ice
think?
cream out of the freezer. Better get them before they melt.
Also, Ali, expired nude is brilliant.
They
You
are.
need to
They're
trademark
expired.
that. Ali was like, that is an expired
It's an
nude.
expired nude.
How dare he send that?
I don't
It is
know.
meat in the sun.
There's no such thing. I can tell you what guys would be like. No, guys would be like, you know what? I need something that's new.
I'm envisioning the oldest possible nude that's like a physical. And it's like, there's no such thing as an expired
Now
nude.
that's a documentary series. The,
The first
history of
nude?
nudes. Yeah.
I took the first nude.
I want
went to a
we start with
portrait
the cave,
studio.
the cave paintings. I'm sure there were nudes.
Oh, fuck
I'm
yeah. Because
sure
they
there
didn't even
were
have
nudes.
clothes. Everyone was nude.
Oh my! Every photo was a nude back in the caveman days, and nothing was a photo because the
Probably
camera wasn't
a
invented.
Polaroid leave behind, maybe.
Yeah.
The history of
Wow.
nudes, folks.
Does someone take a
Complicated.
nude on the Titanic?
I don't know.
Okay.
Thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget, tomorrow we're back with Elise Guilfoyle for part 2 of the Bachelorette bios. Next week, to premiere charity season, an update special behind Viall Files Plus drops this Friday. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.